Long last, we can begin. You and I, we are going to do such beautiful things together, William. Such beautiful things.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Netflix released the first 5 minutes of Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 1, so we'll break them all down because they look super messed up, I think confirming a couple theories about how this season is going to end. You just have to imagine the Duffer Brothers sitting in a room saying, this is our final season with Netflix. How can we gross people out as much as possible from the very start of Episode 1? It kind of looks like Vecna is turning Will into his Horcrux, so that might confirm a couple theories people have about their final battles and what final boss form Vecna is going to take. This is probably one of his contingency plans because during the actual Season 5 trailer we got a little while ago, Vecna said, I need you one last time. Him implanting Will with this weird sludge, this weird goo, like infecting him with himself basically, like it's his own biomatter he's infecting Will with, is probably what he's talking about. So we will break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Big reminder that they're dropping the episodes in 3 different batches. So the first batch is Thanksgiving, 4 episodes, then Christmas, the next 3 episodes after that, and then the finale is going to be on New Year's Eve. Starting with the beginning of the footage, they start with Will in the Upside Down after he's already been fallen into the Upside Down at the very beginning of Season 1. So remember, they said that they would explain why Vecna stole Will in the first place. That's basically what this clip explains. They literally start the season by explaining what that was all about in Season 1, Episode 1. It was meant to be the whole inciting incident of the series, just in general. Bringing it back around full circle, so the way that Will reacts to the Demogorgon, he seems kind of prepared with the shotgun, so it seems like he's been inside the Upside Down for at least a couple days or more than a day. It's been a little while. He's inside his fort from his backyard, but it's the Upside Down version of his fort. He's trying to comfort himself by singing the Clash's Should I Stay or Should I Go? Also a metaphor for what's happening during the actual scene. Like, should he actually leave this place, run away, try to find a way back into the normal dimension, or should he stay here? Basically, the lyrics of the song spell out the action of the actual scene. Like, no matter what he does, he's screwed. If he stays, he's screwed. If he goes, he's screwed. Then the Demogorgon comes for him, and we find out that it's on the orders of Vecna. Like, Vecna told a Demogorgon to go grab him and bring him to the library inside the Upside Down.
Long last, we can begin.
Then we need to point out the very obvious de-aging. So is Noah Schnapp one of the youngest actors in Hollywood who has been de-aged? Typically when you talk about de-aging actors, you're talking about like elderly, like 70, 80-year-old actors being de-aged down to like their 50s or 40s or even younger. But this is like a 20-year-old being de-aged down to like a little kid. You can let me know how you feel about this. The special effects don't look that great. Like, it's not terrible, but it's also not great either. Like, it is very obviously a digital double face. There's always like this weird uncanny valley with situations like this because you're literally on Netflix here and you can go back and you can watch the original Season 1 episodes and see him and he looks way, way different. The actual title of the episode is The Crawl, but I don't think that that references anything that happens in the action of this scene. I think that's a reference to something that happens later in the episode that we don't have footage for yet. He then decides to bolt and run for it from the Demogorgon, climbing up one of these tree structures, but then ultimately winds up falling to the ground, passing out, and the Demogorgon drags him to the library where Vecna implants him with his goo, like his own biomatter. There are a lot of WTF things going on in this whole library scene that we need to talk about, not just the actual implanting of Will. Notice that when the Demogorgon brings Will in, it bows in subservience to Vecna. Then remember, this is Vecna's form before they burned him at the end of Season 4. This is also why he looks different during the Season 5 trailer, because it's like the next stage in his evolution. He's like that much more hardcore. Like I said though, I think that his final boss form will be a more Will-looking final boss form because of this Horcrux situation. Here's the thing though, there are a lot of theories about why it's Will specifically that Vecna needs for this. Like, couldn't he have grabbed any child at all from the right side up, or like the normal dimension, and used him for this purpose? There are a lot of people that think that maybe it needs to be Will specifically because Vecna is biologically related to Will. Number one, Henry Creel is related to Will. You can let me know if you agree with that theory. Like, is there some biological connection with them before he actually implants him with his own biomatter? But it seems like here he's actually turning him into his Horcrux. So early theories here. When he says in the clip, we're going to do such wonderful things together, it sounds like he uses Will through the rest of the seasons as the way to actually break back into the right side up. It's the reason why he can open up those tears between dimensions, whereas before he wasn't able to do that. Something about anchoring himself inside Will helps get him into the right side up.
We are going to do such beautiful things together, William.
If you didn't see the title reveals too, the title of the finale is also called The Right Side Up. So this probably explains why Will has always had this psychic connection to Vecna in his sixth sense for when weird things are about to happen, because Vecna altered Will's DNA in some way, binding them in some deeper way. Like, part of him is now Vecna. So it really does seem like a Harry Potter, Horcrux, Voldemort situation, and the finale will be the Scooby Gang having to fight Will in Vecna form, final boss. Like, Vecna's actual final boss form is just Will, who starts to look more like Vecna at the end and takes over his mind and his body. So next big theory, just based on what they're implying in this scene. I haven't seen the episodes yet, but by the end of episode 7, the Scooby Gang is able to kill Vecna's current form here, even though he seems evolved, and they think that it's over, like, yay, the evil has been defeated, but Vecna winds up using Will as his Horcrux to overtake his body and his mind, then returns, but it's way worse because the kids don't want to kill their friend Will, and obviously the brother of a couple of the characters. But the only way here to actually kill Vecna, permakill him, is to technically kill Will, and they can't do that. So the big dilemma that they're faced with in the finale is they can only permakill Vecna if they kill Will. Like, killing Vecna will mean killing Will. You remember how Harry Potter ended during Deathly Hallows? Harry Potter had to die in order to get rid of the Horcrux in his body. He actually physically had to die. So maybe they do the same thing with Will, and they give him the Harry Potter treatment where he dies for like a couple seconds, but then they find a way to bring him back to life. Stop his heart for a couple minutes, then bring him back. There's an actual term for this where someone is medically dead for like a brief hot second, like very, very brief second, and then they resuscitate them and bring them back. So there is a real world, like this is a real thing in real life. There's an actual way to kill Will, get rid of the Horcrux, and bring him back, resuscitate him. There's just been so many theories about who they're going to kill in the final season. My guess is that they actually kill any big characters. Hopper will probably be one of them. Like, it'll be a couple of the adult characters, and the kids will all be fine. Maybe they just make you wonder whether or not Will is going to have to perma-die, but then they let him survive the end, like they bring him back to life at the end. Everybody post all your theories in the comments. What do you think about the Will Horcrux theory, the whole Harry Potter theory of this? Just remember, if you're wondering how Will survives the end of this, and they also perma-kill Vecna, just re-watch Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and you'll see. There's a lot of other stuff that they talked about here during the premiere. So Linda Hamilton is playing a character called Dr. K. She basically takes over the work of Dr. Brenner. So she's kind of like the new version of Dr. Brenner during the season, just way more hardcore because it's Linda Hamilton. One of the other big things they also revealed this morning was their first actual spin-off from the official Stranger Things series. It's a Stranger Things animated series called Stranger Things Tales from 85 that takes place between the events of Season 2 and Season 3 following the main cast. So if it wasn't obvious here, all the characters are meant to be the main characters of the regular series. Both of the Duffers said that they wanted to create a classic 1980s Saturday morning cartoon kind of feeling series. I'm not sure if I'm super hot on the animation style, but it kind of looks like they're going for a more Arcane vibe. I don't think the production quality will be quite on the level of Arcane because Arcane is like the most expensive animated series of all time. I don't think that they spent that much money on the Stranger Things animated series. They didn't say exactly when this is going to premiere, just sometime next year, but they're also working on live-action Stranger Things spin-offs, even though the Duffers themselves are leaving Netflix to go do more live-action movies with another studio. What's happening with that is that they're continuing to develop, and they will share in some of the profits, but they won't be the showrunners of any Stranger Things spin-offs. It'll be like other people that Netflix hires to run those shows, and the Duffers will just be like executive producers over on the side. Stuff like this happens in Hollywood all the time where really big creators will have like this IP that they're responsible for creating, then they'll jump to another studio. They will still earn money on all the old stuff. So like the Duffers will still earn money on Stranger Things related stuff or stuff that's developed from their original Stranger Things series. But they did say that the first live action Stranger Things spinoff is set outside Hawkins with completely different characters. Maybe some of the cast will return during those. Like, I think some of the kids will probably want to return, like, oh yeah, I'm down to return. But I think that Millie Bobby Brown said that she's basically done with Stranger Things and she wants to do other big movies, other big IP. Like, she's developing a lot of her own stuff for herself. We will see if Netflix is able to pay her enough money to come back for some of these spin-offs and cameo scenes. Wouldn't be surprised if she shows up in a couple cameo scenes, but probably gets paid a ton of money for that. You can all let me know what other kinds of spin-offs you want to see from Stranger Things in live action if Netflix is going to continue with these for the next couple of years. One of the other cool details that we just learned from behind the scenes is that Frank Darabont actually directed the final 2 episodes. You remember, he created The Walking Dead, so expect them to lean way more into the horror element that the series has tried to do over its entire run, but it's become more and more body horror, more horror genre overall as the series has continued. There's a lot of other stuff going on here during all the footage, so if you spotted any Easter eggs here or you have any theories that I didn't talk about during the video, write them below in the comments. But there'll be a couple more trailers before they drop that first batch of episodes around Thanksgiving. I just did a much bigger video for the trailer they released a little while ago. Click here for that, and click here for all my other Stranger Things videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.